Joining me now on the phone is Saliha Shakir, a close friend of Muhammad Ali and his family. Her husband was one of Ali's main spiritual leaders and mentors. Saliha, thank you so much for joining us in this terrible time for you. I understand your husband is with Muhammad Ali's family right now and you're on your way. Those of us who've never even met Ali are incredibly sad, so I can only imagine what it's like for yourself and his other close friends and family.
Yes, it is, especially in light of what he represents for many of us today. His courage and his strength and eloquence and conscience is something that's sorely needed at a time in our society where we're undergoing many events that are challenging an individual's spiritual awakening or spiritual enlightenment or spiritual direction. And so Muhammad Ali embodies all of that for us because he stood up against the establishment and represented, as the first speaker mentioned, against the powers that be for truth, justice, and righteousness.
Saliha, we're about to show pictures of your husband with Muhammad Ali right now. Muhammad Ali was known not just as an athlete, but a poet, really, and somewhat of a comedian. Was he like that when the cameras weren't on?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, in recent statements, excuse me, to NPR, his wife, his speech was slowly waning over the last couple of years, especially this last year. Excuse me, this is a quote from something that he wrote that she read on the NPR interview back in, actually a couple of years, in 2009, but it still rings a bell. And he stated, quote, "I never thought of the possibility of failing, only of the fame and glory I was going to get when I won," Ali wrote. "I could see it. I could almost feel it. When I proclaimed that I was the greatest of all time, I believed in myself, and I still do."
Wow. Very powerful words there, Saliha. I think that Muhammad Ali was coined so many amazing phrases. Don't count the days, make the days count. I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, and I can't possibly be beat. Do you have any particular memory of times with him that will stay with you forever?
Yes, my biggest memory of him is that he embodied true manhood for us today, because to stand up at a time when the whole establishment is against you, and you represent power in a very humble, peaceful way, and that's what I liked about Muhammad Ali. He had that way of entertaining a crowd or charming a crowd, or being very rambunctious sometimes in the media, but his heart was like a lamb, and he always helped other people. If you ran into him on the store or on the street corner or any places in a public space, and if you needed something, he always went out of his way to try to provide, be it money, a good word, a smile, encouragement. This was Muhammad Ali out of the ring, this humble, unique lamb. And I thought that's very interesting, that people always look at Muhammad Ali in the ring as the boxer, the tough athlete, and all of that. But outside of the ring, he was, a very gentle, kind individual.
Saliha, the term legacy gets thrown around a lot, far too often really, but surely I think it's warranted in the case of Muhammad Ali. What legacy do you think he will leave?
That we must stand up for what we believe in and work and continually work and stay focused to obtain justice for all people, be it here in the United States and throughout the world. because that's what he represented. He took a stand. And we, those of us who are trying to bring about truth, justice, and righteousness in our society, be it here in America or throughout the world, we should look at his example that there's an element of sacrifice, but in the end, truth will prevail. And that's what he represented throughout his life.
Saliha Shakir, thank you so much for joining us, and our sincere condolences to yourself and your friends and family.